Hey guys, it's Mike from We Are the Batman here. Just want to let you know we have a new website you guys can go to. Just go to podpage.com/We Are the Batman. That's podpage.com/We Are the Batman. You can get all of our episodes there, get a little more information about us, and most importantly, you can leave us reviews and you can leave us comments and messages, send us questions and episode ideas, and you can even leave us voicemails. All these great tools are on the website. Head over to podpage.com/We Are the Batman. We always love to hear from you guys. Head on over there now and check it out. Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are the Batman. I'm Mike.
And this is Matthew.
All right, so it's here, the new full official trailer for The Flash, which for some reason is still coming out in June of this year. The mighty James Gunn reset button is upon us. This dropped as part of the Super Bowl, actually before the Super Bowl. James Gunn tweeted it out before the game even started, which was fantastic. Not a lot of trailers this year, and I thought we were going to get more than we did.
No, I think this is where it just gets in that weird moment of like, is the Super Bowl losing its cred for this thing? Or the flip side is like, are they really seeing any draw from it being on the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You
Because
know?
all it is you get the cut down 30-second version during the Super Bowl telling you to go watch the full trailer on YouTube. It's like, yeah. So, because I know there was one for the new Transformers, the Rise of the Beasts or whatever. Don't care. The first trailer broke my heart. I don't care anymore. I hated the first trailer. I don't care anymore. I was super in until the first trailer showed me what the movie was going to be. I'm out. Fast and Furious. I've never seen a full movie all the way through. Guardians Volume 3 looks great. I'm super excited, mostly so James Gunn can go ahead and close that chapter and move on. But also it just looks like a neat movie. And so what we thought we would do today is we're gonna take the Flash trailer. Now we've both already seen it because there was no way I wasn't gonna watch it when it dropped. I wasn't about to wait and miss that conversation. No. But anyway, so we've both seen it. We thought it would be fun, kind of like we did with James Gunn's announcement. We'll watch it through, kind of pause, break it down, see the things we like, give our overall thoughts on the trailer, our overall thoughts on what we think of the direction of the movie, just kind of general thoughts. Before we get started into that, Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm not going to say I'm excited for this movie, but it doesn't look like it's the big ball of crap that everybody was worried it was going to be.
Yeah.
I have to renege on my statement. I really did think they were going to wipe the slate clean. Apparently, they're not. I mean, granted, who knows who's keeping going after all this stuff is done, but it'll be interesting to see.
I still think a clean slate is in the realm of possibility, but it's going to depend on how the movie ends ultimately. And I got some thoughts about that we can get into later.
Sure.
I do think it's also important to point out, I'm not going to name this person's name, but up until this trailer launched, there was a rumor circulating the internet about what was going to be in this movie. And I would just like to say once again, shout out to James Gunn for stupendously putting that rumor to bed. Once again, this person who is a total idiot. Anyway, I just felt the need to get that off my chest. So I hate this person so much. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, guys.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. As much as I don't like that he responded to her at the same time, yeah, you have to just be like, no, this person's dumb. Stop.
Yeah, if it was anybody else, I would have said let it go. But because it was this person who he has had choice words about in the past, I think he almost took it as a point of pride, like I have to shut this down. Anyway, let's so we got the trailer pulled up here. Somebody actually sent us a question on our website, by the way, podpage.com/We Are the Batman. Asking us if there was a video version of our show. The short answer to that is no. It's not that we haven't toyed around with the idea. It's because we're doing this show virtually. Technology isn't always on our side. it's a lot easier to make a quality audio podcast than it is a quality video podcast. So,
But if you tip us $50, we will
but
release some episodes on video.
yeah, if you guys want to shell out money, you don't have to, but if you feel the need to help us make certain upgrades to where that is possible, I'm not going to say no. Honestly, we're just happy you're here listening and that you actually took the moment to step out and reach out to us. I appreciate that a hell of a lot more.
You know, we should do a screenshot of the video and go, this is what you got.
Yeah, you think I'm not going to do that? I'm going to do that right now. It's like, this is what we're working with right now, okay? Like, and it's not just the video itself, but like both of us have incredibly unreliable internet. It's not, I mean, like Matt's got his headphone cord taped down because the USB port on his computer is wanky. Like you guys are lucky this is a show at all. Is what we're really getting into here. So,
yeah, I dropped $35 on a gaming headset that seems to be doing the job well enough for dubbing and this. So,
and I stopped at the McDonald's drive-thru for breakfast today, and now I'm rebudgeting for the rest of the week. That's how money is right now, guys. Anyway, okay. So we're here. It's the trailer from DC. Now this shot here, which is like him running, showing up at his house in the past. I mean, this was in the first trailer, so I was nervous at first because I was like, are they just going to recut the first trailer and give us nothing? And I'm glad that's not how this goes.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere.
That suit looks good.
Better.
It's better than the weird like pieces, parts stuck together with like wire or whatever they were doing in Justice League.
And very New 52.
Oh, 100%. This is probably the most New 52 live action suit we've seen. Hands down.
You can go anywhere. Another timeline. Another universe.
So I want to know what's going on in this scene here, because we got Batman's cowl on the floor. This is clearly Keaton's.
Well, it's also Keaton's voice.
And this is Keaton's voice we're hearing too. That's right. And you see the boots in the background, and there's blood on the floor. And I'm like, oh, when is this? Because I don't think this was in the first trailer.
No.
Okay, so we just saw this shot. I know I just paused. This is Batfleck, right?
That's Batfleck, and apparently, according to the other image, it's blue and gray suit.
Yeah, we see it very briefly later in the trailer, but it's a take on the blue and gray suit, which I never thought we'd see.
Yeah.
And that's cool. A couple folks thought that this was Christian Bale, because of the bullshit rumor, and also because that kind of looks like the Bat Pod.
Yeah.
But Christian Bale has all but said, like, I'm done. Like, stop asking me.
Yeah.
So why do you want to stay and fight to save this one? Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not going to lose her again.
So right here we got a dude from Office Space.
Ron Livingston.
Thank you. Is now playing Barry's dad in this. I guess Billy Crudup couldn't make his schedule work for what they wanted is what the official statement is.
I mean, timelines, baby. Everything changes with timelines. I'm just saying.
True. I mean, who's to say that Billy Crudup isn't just Ron Livingston but older? Even though I think Ron Livingston's actually older than Billy Crudup, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of our first like big sign of like change in this one, is like, because this is a movie that's been getting pushed around since 2017. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. But so yeah, they are, this lets us know right away, like they are like what we already knew, but they are full beans into, they're doing Flashpoint. Like there is no question whatsoever remaining that that's what we're doing here. If we're going all the way back to Barry's mom being killed and his dad being there.
Yeah.
Also, that kid looks like spot on young.
Time has a pattern. that it can't.
So that was cool. I like this right here where it's the kid running out the door and everything changes behind him.
Yeah.
Because that makes me wonder, because it's been all but confirmed that Black Flash is the villain of this movie, along with something we're going to get to later, and kind of Barry himself. So I wonder how much of this is going to be like, because in the original story, it's like Thawne goes back in time and takes young Barry away. Other times it's Barry takes Barry away or something like that. So I wonder how much of that, seeing the sky turn in the back like that, what we're doing here. Because this is clearly Barry running away from, Mama just got stabbed. So
things
that it can't help reliving.
See, the suit looks good, man. It looks it's
that's a different suit.
Yeah, it doesn't have all the yellow lines and stuff on it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna and also, and we will see this later, but other Barry has a completely different suit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so far I would say from this trailer I'm seeing at least 8 different timelines.
It's kind of wild. It's like when I heard that this was going to be Flashpoint, I was like, that is hard to do for your first Flash movie. But the more I've seen from this trailer, I'm like, oh shit, they're actually going to do it. Because CW tried to do Flashpoint and it was not good.
Correct.
Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets. My face. You stole my face.
So clearly we're getting the 2 different Barrys here. One who's, grown up with both of his parents, I guess, and doesn't have powers, you would figure, because he never had a reason to.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because by the time we meet Barry in Justice League, he hasn't joined like the crime lab yet. Yeah. So we're not super sure where his powers came from in this version of Barry Allen.
If you were to go into the past,
I gotta pause again because that looks so cool. That shot of Wayne Manor looks so cool.
Yeah.
You have no idea what the consequences can be. Bruce, I could.
The ring. We have the Flash ring.
We got the Flash ring, so we're good.
So it's so good to see it. And I love the way it works too. That I think, especially because of what we're about to see, I feel like that's coming from Wayne Tech. Like I think Bruce Wayne, especially after how we saw their relationship build in Justice League, I feel like Batfleck Bruce Wayne kind of took Barry under his wing and has been like, trying to be that mentor for him.
Mentor and supplier of upgraded shite. The whole nine.
Barry, your suit sucks. I'm going to make you a new one. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fix things.
You can also destroy everything.
This can't be happening.
See, now this thing here with going all the way back to Man of Steel, did not see this coming.
Yeah. And you've got everybody coming back, the same actors.
Yeah, you've got, like, I think in the next shot here, we see, Michael Shannon back as General Zod. Like, I had no idea that was coming. I don't think I ever heard a whisper of Michael Shannon being on set for this movie.
Yeah. And he's pretty bad about saying when he's on sets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Michael Shannon doesn't know how to shut up. So, and I love Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon should be Two-Face, just saying. For Battinson. So if you got to do Flashpoint and you need some kind of, world destroying event for them to kind of create that ticking clock, Zod's invasion of Earth from Man of Steel is a good one.
Yeah.
If you don't have time to set up the whole Aquaman Wonder Woman thing, it's like this is a pretty good ticking clock, especially in this world there's no Superman.
Yes, but if there's no Superman, what are they doing there?
Find out in the movie. Well, keep in mind. Well, remember, Superman's not there. The Kryptonian ship still is the one that landed.
Yes, but they only came because he turned it on.
It's true. We'll have to see in the movie. We're going to get so much from a 3-minute trailer.
Yeah.
It does raise more questions, but honestly, that's just a good question to raise.
Yep. So I'm here.
I created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to
There's
defend
our
us.
first Kara.
Want some help?
Now the greatest moment in the trailer.
Oh. You are.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
That's one of the coolest Batman things I've ever seen on screen, period. That's just excellent. First, so breaking down that whole little bit there, once again, reusing the Danny Elfman theme.
Yep.
Which we heard in the Joss Whedon version of Justice League, because Danny Elfman did the score for that one. He reused some of his Batman theme for some of the Batman scenes. It's cool they're bringing that back because it is Michael Keaton Batman. Dude looks so good in that suit. And he says the line.
Reluctantly, apparently.
Part of me, yeah, part of me does kind of wish that had been saved for the movie, but I'm also super glad I got to hear him say it. But that move of him diving down, grabbing the guy, swooping back up, and then bodying him onto the ground, that is one of the coolest Batman things I've seen, I think, since Ben Affleck's warehouse fight in BVS. I mean, that is excellent.
That is some Batman level Batmaning right there.
Yeah, that is like, and you haven't played the games, but it's like that's the kind of thing like you have to earn enough points to unlock as a combo move in like Arkham Knight or something like that. Like that is very good. And then also just the reaction of the Barry's just passing out, like, oh my god, he's Batman. Like, yeah, no, he's he's Batman.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back,
there we see right there in that shot, two Flashes sliding
if I
to each
can't
other.
get back,
We got a black suited Flash, who's got the blue lightning. I'm hoping they find a way to explain why the lightning has changed, because Barry had blue lightning in Justice League. Now he's got yellow, but this guy has blue. So I'm wondering if that'll
depends
be
on which Barry we following. You know what I mean? I mean, once you start going into timelines, it's like who knows who's who and what's what. Yeah, my wife's the same way. She hates time movies. She's like, you just have no clue what's anything's happening and trying to follow it.
It makes it messy, but I love me some Doctor Who. So, all right.
there might not be a future.
So this is an interesting shot because we see, looks like the Bat plane, you know, in the Flashpoint comics, the whole thing is that Thomas Wayne Batman, you know, takes Barry out during a lightning storm and he basically sits in an electric chair and gets struck by lightning. In this one, it's like, no, we're going to use the Batwing and what looks like a cable to basically, we're going to Back to the Future this, and we're going to create a lightning rod and force the lightning to go where we want it to go. That's just cool. There was that shot I was talking about. That's kind of that gray suit, the blue cowl and cape, the belt's kind of yellowish.
Yeah,
like that.
We're assuming that's Batfleck. That's all I'm saying.
It's that chin, like that's Batfleck. Like everything about this says Batfleck. If it's,
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I think we're going to get another Batman. I'm not saying it's going to be a past casted Batman. I'm just saying with everything we're seeing here.
Oh, you think maybe we're going to get the new Batman?
I don't think it's going to be the new Batman. I just think we're going to get a random ass Batman because we're going to get some random. I mean, already we're seeing like there's two Barrys, there's two different Batman, there's Supergirl instead of Superman. I'm not going to be surprised. I don't know if it's going to be Henry Cavill, but I won't be surprised if Superman's in this as well. Like,
I thought for a brief moment he was going to be, when they were starting to show the first few shots of what we now know as Kara, like being held
Yeah.
prisoner. Because in Flashpoint, it is Clark who, the government's had him in a tomb all these years.
Yeah.
That I did wonder for a brief moment if they were going to use Cavill for some of that. Then I kind of remembered, oh wait, no, duh, it's probably Kara. That actually also makes me wonder, because in Man of Steel, her pod in the Kryptonian ship was already open and vacant.
Yes.
So I wonder if and we know that obviously like there were plans that got scrapped, and it is what it is. Part of me wonders if like the government did have Kara in that chamber already, and we just never got to see that part of the story because DC did what DC did. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But anyway, we're almost through, so let's keep going here.
What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
Good advice. Now this is just straight out of Batman here.
Yeah.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm
Well, we're Barry. Barry, what are you doing?
Our kids are going to want to see this.
It's a good joke.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I think is very cool is this here, where they show read where it all began.
Yes.
We know that this book on the left here is actually it's the official movie tie-in comic. What that means, I don't know. I'll find it at some point. We've also got Flashpoint, and looks like Flash, the first run of Flash from New 52. DC, and I wanted to talk about this at some point anyway. DC is doing this thing now where they are packaging collections of comics that were used to adapt into movies. And so like you can get one now, it's on like Amazon, and it's a box set with like the movie poster for The Batman, and it's like the books that inspired the movies, and it's Long Halloween, Year One, and Ego. They've got them for Black Adam. Now they're doing them for Flash. And there was a thing in the news after James Gunn's announcement that comic book shops across the country were completely sold out of anything for the Authority. And James Gunn had reached out to Jim Lee and said like, hey, we need to get more of these in circulation. Like DC, because we talked about what DC's plans were for this year for comics anyway. DC is going hard to try and get people back in comic book stores this year. And that is excellent. And nothing says that more than they make sure the last thing you see in the trailer for the movie that they're putting all their power behind is, by the way, go read these comics. They're if you really want to enjoy this movie. And to me, I'm like, hey, Marvel, do that.
Yeah.
Do that, please.
Well,
go ahead, man.
yeah,
I've been talking this whole time. So.
You're fine. No, I think like it's interesting that it's happening. I like that that's happening. I mean, I want to say that when the MCU first kicked it big, when Avengers did what it did influence all of their stuff. You get the Marvel now rebooted Marvel, the costumes change, everybody turns more into their film version, and then they rebooted the cartoons to match the movies. So I think Marvel started. Now, why it just kind of goes adrift and they don't continue with that, I have no idea. I want to say, I don't know if that's something Disney decides, like, hey, we just want the money from the movies. Like, having had the experience I've had self-publish or attempting to self-publish a comics can be expensive to produce, and they don't make a lot of money like they used to. So, yay for DC doing what it's doing, and that James Gunn is able to get these things, making some money. But, I don't know what that kind of stuff does in the long haul, which is maybe why Marvel just is like, whatever.
Oh, and Marvel's not wrong. Like, I get why Marvel hasn't made those moves because, yeah, the comic book industry, like specifically, has not exactly been the most profitable. I dare say it hasn't been profitable at all for a while. The peak of the MCU definitely got people reading comics more, but kind of like to what you said, they started redoing the comics to be more familiar to the movies, because like Guardians of the Galaxy, those movies, while fantastic, that team specifically did not exist in the comics. Those were multiple characters from multiple runs of Guardians of the Galaxy, then put into this movie. Then they changed it in the comics to where that was the team. Because people were going back and reading, like, well, wait a minute, Guardians, it's supposed to be Star-Lord and Gamora and Groot and Rocket and Drax. It's like, yeah, they weren't actually on the team together in the comics. Same, it was, it was like Yondu was an OG Guardian of the Galaxy, like, so they changed that. And so I get it. I get why they would do that. DC's taking more the approach of, we've had these amazing runs. Let's adapt those, just adapt those runs, and then say, hey, folks, if you want to read how this stuff came to be in the comics, here's where you can get them now. It's like $50 for a box set. It's not a bad deal, all things considered, considering these are some big runs that are expensive enough on their own. And
For real.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so I am of two minds with this trailer, and I think it's the same two minds. I think it's the same two minds that everybody on the internet is having right now. Like, was this a good trailer? Yes, this was a very good, excellent trailer. The movie looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. But Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I think, look, it's a soft reboot. I think you come out the other side with somebody completely different as the Flash, or you could even, we're playing with time. What if Wally West, a completely different actor, shows up and now he's our Flash, and we don't have to quote unquote recast Barry Allen. We just bring in Wally West as our Flash. But again, it's just like, look, you said it before when I kind of mentioned like what Batman is, that it probably is Batfleck, But I mean, look, you've got a Supergirl instead of a Superman. You've got two different ages of Barry Allen. You've definitely got different suits going on. You've got, I already say two Batmans. Anyway, my point is, like, we've got so many different timelines going on here. And he's already said it's going to be a soft reboot. And it was rumored that was what this was going to be anyway. I mean, at this point, I really feel like the backside of this movie, we come out of this movie, like, we know Momoa's still Aquaman. That's all we know 100%. And we don't know which one of these Batman are going to be. And I honestly, I want to say in that tweet thing when they were talking about, he said it was going to be a completely different actor being the DC Batman going forward. If you follow that string, he just says like, no, it's a new actor. Like, we're not reusing anybody.
Because a couple folks thought like, okay, maybe he finds a way to keep it be Ben Affleck, because age-wise, it would work. Ben Affleck's old enough to where he could have a Damian Wayne age son. But yeah, James Gunn all but said like, no, it's going to be a new actor. And it's like, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah. Which moderately concerns me in that, like, I'm wondering, like, man, I wonder if he's just going to make it that Damian Wayne's his Robin, and there are no previous Robins.
James Gunn specifically said the words Bat Family in his announcement video. You don't invoke the name Bat Family if you're not going to have the Bat Family, and you can't have the Bat Family without a Nightwing, and at least one other Robin that's existed, and a Batgirl, because that is literally the Bat Family. I think it's going to be easier to just have that, like, hey, this shit already happened, because otherwise you're inviting yourself to have to tell a lot more story than you're going to need to in the long run. Just, okay, yeah, he's got Damian Wayne, Nightwing pops up, oh yeah, Damian gives us some shit, like, just because you used to be Robin, like, or some bullshit like that. Like, I don't, and granted, like, this is me speaking as a writer, like, that's what I would do. Now, I don't know what their plan is with DC, but I can actually see a couple different things happening with this movie. And it's really going to depend on on what they're able to get. And a lot of this is also contract dependent too. But I can totally see this movie ending with Barry saying, "Okay, I'm going to run back to my time now and see if I fixed or everything should be fine now. I'm going to run back to my time," and then the movie just ends. Because then that way you can just say everything's fixed. Bye, guys, and he runs off into the lightning and the credits roll. Because then that's kind of an easy way of saying the next time you see the Flash, it'll be a different actor. Because at this point, I highly doubt they would. There's no way that Barry Allen is recast in this movie and it hasn't leaked yet. There's no way.
Correct. Or like you may get the Crisis on Infinite Earths ending where Barry Allen sacrifices himself to set everything right.
I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah, and now you get a good death. Again, you set up Wally West for later.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily bring him in. And there's no telling, and that would be a nice way to tidy up Ezra Miller and not worry about him ever coming back.
Yeah.
But no, I think the this is where you're going to get mad at me. I'm not exactly the biggest Michael Keaton as Batman fan.
God, I hate you so much.
I know. So like once he showed up, I was like, oh, okay. Like that doesn't excite me. But the idea of playing with different timelines and you're just at the point of like, who knows what's going to happen now? That seems interesting because they're obviously really leaning into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where I'm like, okay, this isn't just two timelines. This is several. I think what we're going to see is every time he goes back and quote unquote fixes something, we get a different Batman, we get a different Supergirl, we get a different this. So I think that is where I'm interested in seeing, like, how do you come out of this with a soft reboot that it doesn't seem like all we want to do is reboot. So
here's what I'm going to say. If this is a situation where this movie's going to have 8 different timelines in it, I'm less interested. Because to me, kind of your point earlier, that starts to run the risk of making things messy and confusing.
Yeah.
I think if you go back to one timeline and that's where the mistake is and that's the problem is, but just that one timeline has all these different changes and things that have happened to it you can play with, that's one thing. If I start going into 9 different plot lines with 9 different Batmen and all these, it's like that's when I'm going to be like, is this too much? Like, just you don't need to do that. That then you start running into, because that was the problem CW made. That was the mistake CW made with their Flashpoint, was it was constantly changing stuff, but only little tiny itty bitty things would change, and it kind of made the whole thing pointless. So I'd rather they pull a true Flashpoint and he just goes back into this one timeline.
Yeah, no, I think what it's going to be is he'll go backwards, mess something up, go backwards again, try and fix it, and then like the latter half of the film will be a single timeline. He's trying to fix everything, and then the end of it is him fixing everything, whether it's him sacrificing or whatever. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, it's hard to say. There's a lot you can do. Couple things I will say I pointed out. So there's the scene where he's talking to Batfleck, and they're like in a bar or something, and Barry is wearing a suit, a black suit, not a black Flash suit, but a tie and dress shirt and all that. I kind of have a feeling this movie starts with his dad dying.
It's possible.
Like he went to his dad's funeral, and I think it was like either he was executed because he's still in prison for his mom's murder.
Yeah.
Or if this movie gets really dark, he killed himself in prison. And I think his dad dying and having to go to his dad's funeral is the thing that makes him go, like, I still haven't cleared his name. It was the whole point of me doing this. It would be just easier if my mom never died. Hey, when I did this thing during the Steppenwolf thing, I blah 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 time, I'm just going to go back in time and just unkill my mom.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? Because in the book, it's because it's his mom's birthday, I think, isn't it? Isn't that the whole?
I don't recall the catalyst of it. I want to say I can't remember. Like somehow he figures out it's wrong and goes back to fix it, but I can't remember. It's like there's so
Okay.
many different comics that redo and redo, and the shows.
That's
He's
true.
just like
Yeah.
at this point. But yeah, there's something that makes him go like, no, I got to fix this.
I know in the movie it was his mom's birthday, but I don't know if that's what it was in the book. I think in the book he just wakes up and he's in Flashpoint.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of where I'm feeling right now. Is like the movie objectively looks awesome. It looks huge. It looks action packed. It looks fun. They're really doing their best to do a version of Flashpoint. Taking it back to General Zod coming to Earth and how that's going to work is interesting to me. But Ezra Miller is the it's just that's the thing that's got me good, because I've seen it a lot online too, is like, or like any reaction that I've watched has been like, this movie looks cool. Don't know how I feel about seeing it because of Ezra Miller. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
See, I'm one of those guys. I just don't care about that kind of stuff, and I don't mean it in the like. I don't care about how messed up this guy is and the things he did. I if if I tried to only watch movies of people who believed the things I believed or thought the way I thought, I'd be watching a lot of crappy movies. You know,
and this isn't even a belief issue. This is just Ezra Miller sucks.
Yeah, no,
Ezra Miller is an objectively terrible person.
Correct.
And I think that's where everyone's like, this isn't just a matter of, this isn't just like an ideology thing, especially when you can remember that Batgirl got canceled, and it's like, so we canceled Batgirl, but this guy gets to hang around. You know, it's the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. You know, Johnny Depp gets fired and recast in a Fantastic Beasts movie. Amber Heard's still going to be in Aquaman. I think this is going to be the one to like watch how it does box office and streaming, like how many people are going to go see it in a theater versus just wait for it to hit HBO Max.
It'll be interesting. Like again, the Ezra Miller thing, just like most actor things, doesn't affect whether I'm going to see a movie. I will.
You're separating the artist from the art, which a lot of people are better at that than others. For me, it kind of depends on my mood, really.
Yeah, and look, it's a DC film. I'm hoping it's like, you know, I was talking to somebody earlier about DC, Marvel, blah blah, and I'm like, look, it's not that I hate the DC films. I just want them to be good. I want to enjoy them. Like I want them to be great. I'm not sitting here waiting for them to suck. What good would that do? I just want good, entertaining movies. And if this is a good, entertaining movie, then I don't care who's in it. You know, look, again, like I said, you know, to review, Keaton doesn't get me excited to go see a movie as Batman. I could care less. If the story looks really cool, like this does, I'll go see the movie. You know, like, did I want to see The Rock as Black Adam? No, but it looked like it might be okay, and it wasn't.
Right? Yeah. Everyone, like, don't get me wrong, I was rooting for it to be good.
Yeah,
it was not good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm the one that lost in that scenario.
Yeah.
Like,
I cast Ben Affleck as my Batman back in '98 when I planned a reboot. So it's not that I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. That particular movie's just not my thing. But anyway, I think that it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I'm for the DC sake, even though they've definitely, like, it doesn't matter what this movie does, they're not going to suddenly go, no, we're not going to do any more DC movies.
Well, especially because, like, no matter what, this is the reset. Like James Gunn has said, and I honestly think, like, I know there's been, you know, we've heard for years the movie constantly getting pushed around and pushed back and pushed back. I think part of the reason it kept getting pushed back was they were waiting for the right time to reset their shit. Because from the moment this movie got announced, everyone kind of predicted they were going to use it to do Flashpoint and reset a bunch of stuff. And I think part of the reason it kept getting pushed back is they were just waiting for the right time to say, okay, now is a good time to put it out and reset everything and start over. And that is very much what their plan is. So,
well, and let's be honest here. It's not like James Gunn got the job and the next day we found out about it.
No.
No.
absolutely not. Well, but also I think everyone needs to take 5 seconds and think about this. Like, there were things that were set in motion before James Gunn got there. He knew going into it he was going to have to break some bad news to some people, but also Warner Brothers knew that going into it too. It wasn't like they gave him the job without knowing exactly what it was he was planning on doing.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this movie turns out, is what I will say.
Me too. We do this show. We're going to see it. Like, we're going to see it so we can talk about it on this show, especially because, and I think this is also what I will say as far as good marketing decisions go, is this is a trailer for a movie called The Flash. The Flash is not in a lot of this trailer. This is a Batman, Supergirl, General Zod focused trailer. They are, which I think is smart marketing, because they've got just enough Ezra Miller in this trailer to remind everyone that it is his movie, but they kept him out for everyone to go like, hey, there's a lot of other really good stuff in this movie that you should go see it for, other than our problematic star.
Yeah.
So that's where we're sitting, guys. It was a damn good trailer. Ezra Miller aside, it's a damn good trailer. The movie looks awesome. I mean, like, it all these rumblings we've been hearing for months of, like, people who were going to test, people in the industry going to test screenings who were saying the movie was incredible. And I'm sitting here going, really? Is it really? And now I see this trailer and I'm like, oh, they might be onto something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it doesn't suck.
Maybe this movie just straight up doesn't suck. Which this is going to be just such a weird couple of months, because the movie comes out in June, and like the next few months before this movie comes out are going to be so weird, and the month after it comes out is going to be even weirder. I can't wait to see what the world turns into. Anyway, guys, that's what we think. We'd love to hear what you think. So make sure you head on over to our website, podpage.com/wearethebatman. Fill out the form. You can send us a message. You can leave us a voicemail. You can leave us a rating and a review on our website too. We love it when you guys do that. 2 people have done that already, and thank you very much. We love it when you guys, when we hear from you guys. So do that. Matt, where else can the people get in touch with us if they want to?
www.facebook.com/group/fanboy junction with a K. And then, of course, nail us on Twitter. Hit us up on Twitter. I don't know what I'm talking about.
On Twitter.
Nail it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get nailed on Twitter, everybody. Hit us up on Twitter at We Are the Batman. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Mike Shea.
Please don't nail me at Mr. J Ninja.
We'll see you guys again on another episode of We Are the Batman. Same bat time, same bat podcast channel.
Bye-bye.